General Campbell, I'll begin with you. The war in Ukraine has completed 1 year. And in the last 365 days, we've seen different phases of it. We've seen rockets, bullets, bombs, and of course, unconventional tactics like cyber attacks. How do you assess the conflict as it stands today and the directions that it has taken over the past 1 year?
Look, thanks for the question. It is something that everybody, of course, is very interested in. I'm going to start by just emphasising, as many panellists have, this is an illegal, unjust, outrageous invasion and violation of sovereign territory and the integrity of a sovereign nation. And it is being waged from the perspective of the Russian forces in a deeply unethical and immoral fashion. It is a travesty of everything that a professional military should aspire to do in defence of sovereignty and integrity. In terms of where we are, war is a clash of wills. Everything else is and emerges from that. What I see is a Ukrainian nation unified under extraordinary leadership and with a will determined to resist. Equally, I don't see any change yet in the intent to prosecute at whatever cost to his own forces, his own country, and the people of Ukraine, being shown by President Putin in his determination to continue to prosecute this conflict. And I'm reminded of Minister Rasmussen's comment yesterday evening that if Russia ceases to fight, the war ends. If Ukraine ceases to fight, Ukraine ends. This clash of wills at present has shown and demonstrated some extraordinary success by the Ukrainian armed forces and the Ukrainian people. Extraordinary. And centred on it is an utter determination to resist and to see their country free of Russian presence and domination. But until we see a fracture in will, and from my perspective, a fracture in President Putin's will, unfortunately this war is going to continue, is my assessment. And it is a disaster for the people of Ukraine. It's also a disaster for a lot of mothers of Russia. And I'm incredibly impressed by a wide coalition of nations who've come to support Ukraine, whether it is diplomatically or materially, humanitarian or in lethal arms. But until will changes, I think this war is going to continue.
You called war a clash of wills. How do you see NATO's role in this? Is this de facto now a NATO versus Russia war?
Not at all. Not at all. This is a Ukrainian defence of Ukraine. And yes, members of NATO and members of the wider international community, such as Australia and other countries from the Indo-Pacific, are seeking to assist Ukraine and their capacity to resist and defend. But this is not a war as you have characterised it, which I think, not wishing to impugn your comment, but it is a comment that is comfortably played by President Putin and those who support his regime to suggest in some way that an international coalition have attacked their own country, which is rubbish. This is an unprovoked attack on an independent sovereign nation by a brutal regime.